Here on the channel over the past few months and even possibly a year, we've been talking all about parity between Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. All the way from hearing nothing at all we came into 2021, where the developers came out and talked about a focus that they are working on to improve Bedrock Edition, to increase the parity features given to Bedrock Edition in order to make it as similar to Java as possible. And today everyone, things are only continuing to get better, because in this video we are going to be talking about how some exciting new parity features are finally here. This is not only amazing news for us Java players, but it's also some absolutely incredible news for you Bedrock players. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here. But without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. Now, you might have actually heard me touch up on this at the start of the video, but I just want to reiterate. Mojang have been focusing quite a bit on parity right now, and we know that they are not giving up on Bedrock Edition anytime soon. I know that there's been a few concerns with obviously Mojang cancelling some older versions. I think it was KitKat OS for Android and a few other things like that, right? There's been some examples where Mojang are ending support for some older versions of Bedrock Edition, but the only reason they are doing this is to free up some employees and time and resources so that they can focus on the future Bedrock Edition consoles, these most likely being the Xbox Series X, Series S and the PlayStation 5. But obviously before they do that, they are focusing currently on parity between Java and Bedrock. For any of you that may be new around here and you do not know, parity is basically the phrase used for making Java and Bedrock similar. So if people ever say this is a new parity feature, it's basically a feature that has been in Java for a while, but it's finally been brought over to Bedrock in order to help it catch up. On the surface it might not seem like there's a lot of these features still left. Like if you made a side-by-side comparison, they do look very similar, but it's more some of the minor in-depth quality of life features, and that is actually what we got in the latest Bedrock Beta. And this one is really exciting because it's just these smaller features that really add up just to help it catch up, as I said, to improve the quality of life. And this biggest change was actually giving the player the ability to change the colour of text on signs using various different colours, for example like yellow, red and other colours like that, so that you can actually go up to a sign, you press left trigger and bam, you've changed the colour of the text. I did actually see a few people talking about this and they were actually more excited than I imagined. Not only because it's obviously, as I've said many times now, a parity feature, but it also adds some much needed fixes to some of the darker signs in the game. For example, dark oak. I realised this quite a while back, but text is invisible on these darker signs, mainly dark oak and spruce, so the ability to now change the colour of the text to white or yellow or something a bit more visible is really nice. There's still a lot more changes needed, like if you change it to like green on dark oak or red or dark blue or purple, it's obviously still very hard to see and it does not blend in that well. So I'm guessing there's still a few changes to go with this, but as I said, it's just really exciting to see that Mojang are actually finally going through with this. But arguably more important than this new parity feature is the bug fixes. I have saw recently an absolute outcry of Bedrock Edition players saying the game is becoming unplayable, especially on some of the older Bedrock devices, mainly some older Pocket Edition devices like mobile and some older iPads and tablets and stuff like that, right? But the game is getting really hard to run on some of those older devices, and even on the newer devices. I've heard that some people are trying to play it on like an Xbox and a PlayStation, and the game is really hard to run. But yeah, this just fixes a bit of that and fixes a few bug fixes in the game, but I presume that this fixes quite a few of those issues, and of course it fixes quite a few bugs. For example, a really funny one that I heard about was actually that players would join each other's world and they would actually look like Steve to each other. I do not know how long this has been in Bedrock Edition, because I honestly remember experiencing a bug like this a really long time ago. So honestly, I do not know how long this has been an issue, but hopefully it's finally fixed for you Bedrock players. And this final thing I really do not know a lot about, but it's still pretty exciting, and this is a /game test feature. Now, I've heard this is more useful for developers, and it's just fun for us players to mess around with and have a bit of fun with, but it's also good for those map creators and world creators that just want to test some things out. It's a really useful tool that can be quickly summoned using commands, and I think there's been some changes to this, or fixes, or new implementations. So yeah, this is obviously really cool. But for this final section of the video, I do not want to talk about the current fixes and changes. I want to talk about the future. For me, this just gets me extremely excited. It's all well and good developers and studios and publishers coming out and saying that they are going to work on Parity. So if you think about this, a lot of us players were like, okay, but how long is this really going to take? And the fact that Mojang are actually coming out and doing entire betas dedicated to Parity during one of the busiest, most awaited, most hyped updates of all times is just really exciting, and it gets me hyped to see what they could do over the next few weeks. It seems at the moment, this is not confirmed, but it seems like Mojang are trying to give us a beta and a snapshot every single week. So if they can manage to keep up this pace, I think the Parity could actually be sorted out a lot quicker than we first thought. And if we go back to the new UI for Bedrock Edition, it shows a clear focus that Mojang are dedicated to Bedrock Edition. I know that there's always been a concern with some players, like, if I buy Bedrock Edition, is that version guaranteed to be supported and updated just like Java Edition? And for a while I would always think no, because I am still shocked at how support for the 360 and the PS3 was ended just like that, right? And I thought that the support could have gone on for so much longer, but that's just me as a player. I really did not know the in-depth stuff that was going on behind the scenes. But it finally has come to me that maybe I could finally rely on buying more versions of Bedrock Edition and have that bit of hope inside that this version will be supported as much as Java Edition. So if you're still watching this video and you made it this far into the video, thank you. But if you're a Bedrock Edition player, be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you think of these changes. To you, do they just seem more like little quality of life changes, or do you see it on the optimistic side like me, where you think that this could be something huge to come for the future of Bedrock Edition? I just really like to stay optimistic and look at the bright side and what this could mean in depth. Of course, this did include quite a bit of speculation, and this could literally just be you know, a beta by Mojang. But if you look at it in depth on the optimistic side, just like me, I think that this could actually be some very exciting news. But yeah, that's it for this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. You can check us out on Twitter, Twitch and Discord. There's links to all of those down below in the description. And if you're not already, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe with that notification bell turned on. But I'll see you all later if we do actually get a snapshot, or tomorrow for another Minecraft video. Goodbye.